The chosen one. Pay close attention. Deep down, you've always known. Being loved by you is never normal. It's risky, not because you create damage, but because your heart is filled with a fire that cleanses, exposes, and changes all it touches. When someone approaches you, they do not just greet you. They enter a hallowed battleground. Your presence uncovers buried facts. For some, it becomes a godsend that heals and raises them up. For some, it becomes a fire that scorches their masks and consumes their deception. That is why people are so fascinated by you. Despite this, many people are unable to continue loving you. It requires purity, boldness, and surrender. And now, I'll explain why your love is both a luxury and a peril. Why does it bless the truth while consuming the untrue? Stay to the finish, because what you're about to learn will change the way you perceive every connection in your life. And before we begin, treat this as a prophetic act, just like this message. Subscribe if you haven't already, and leave 99 comments below. Why 99? Because it represents the number of completions, the indication that God is completing cycles in your life and guarding your heart from individuals who were never intended to be selected. 1. When someone dares to penetrate your heart, they are making a deeper connection. They are passing through hallowed land that heaven has designated, guarded, and sanctified. Your love is not a fleeting emotion that anyone can toy with. It is not a transitory mood that goes with the breeze. No, your love is on fire. It's heavenly fire. And that fire is both an embrace and a warning to the pure. It heats. It heals. It prepares for the unclean. It discloses. It consumes. It dismantles. Everything. False. Understand this. To touch your love means to enter a covenant area. People may believe they're only establishing a relationship with you, but they are actually joining a spiritual contract. Heaven is watching. Angels are recording. Every phrase was said. Every intention was carried out. Every action taken towards you is monitored from above. This is why your life is different. Nothing about you is purely human. Nothing around you is random. Everything is weighed on divine balances, and every new individual in your life gets put to the test. Those who arrive with clean hands experience a miracle. They begin to observe eternally as doors open around them that they could never open with their own might. Suddenly, swing-wide calm enters their soul. Opportunities pursue them. Why? Because being aligned with you is more than just being aligned with another person. It is standing under divine protection. They receive blessings not just because of who they are, but also because of who you are and what you provide. You have become a vessel of heaven, and anybody who honors it will taste the outpouring of its oil. However, individuals who arrive with secret objectives face a totally different world. They may believe they can hide their goals behind lovely words and phony promises, but the fire that surrounds you is not fooled. It looks beyond appearances. It reveals what was concealed. It discloses the unsaid, and the deceit quickly turns against them without your intervention. Plans crumble and possibilities vanish. Their own masks start to suffocate them. They have come to play a game with your heart. But by touching what is sacred, they entered an area where falsehoods cannot breathe. This is why some individuals approached you with confidence, feeling they could manage your affection. But after a while, they became restless, uncomfortable, and even aggressive. They couldn't explain why, but you already know. The chosen one. Because your love isn't ordinary. It is holy territory. Their spirit met with your fire, bringing what was concealed inside them into the light. Some couldn't stand it. Some ran. Some attempted to combat it. However, none of them could remain unmodified. You see, Embracing your love means embracing evolution. Transformation is never simple. It demands the truth. It demands humility. It necessitates capitulation. That's why so many people adore you from a distance, but can't handle walking up close. They understand the expense. They feel the weight. They understand that being close to you entails more than just affection. It entails bearing responsibility. Responsibility in front of heaven. Responsibility to their own spirit. And this lays the enigma, the chosen one. Your love is both an invitation and a challenge. It invites the proper souls to experience a deeper blessing. It also probes the motivations of everyone who dares to approach. Some will rise to the occasion and find themselves elevated higher. Others will stumble, exposed by the same light they believe they could control. So, don't see people's exits as a rejection of your worth. It frequently serves as testimony of your holiness. The ground of your heart is not for the carefree. The heat of your love is not for the deceitful. And the more you embrace this fact, the less you mourn those who could not stay, because in truth, they were never strong enough to step on sacred ground. And now, as we move on, I must divulge something deeper. What happens when this fire of protection does more than simply test your intentions? It actively defends you in ways that most people cannot understand. Stay with me for the following revelation, which will explain why no one can touch you without repercussions. The chosen one. You've been surrounded by a mystery that you can't entirely describe from your infancy. Some individuals were instantly drawn to you, unable to resist. They wanted to sit near you, talk with you, and be close to you without knowing why. At the same time, those who barely knew you were unsettled, anxious, and even terrified, choosing to back away or even separate themselves for no apparent reason. You assumed it was typical human behavior, but it wasn't. It was spiritual. There's a magnet inside you. Your soul, which is made up entirely of spirit, emits a vibration that only certain hearts can sustain. Your presence seems familiar to people who are real, live in truth, and convey authenticity. It feels like a moment of calm in an otherwise chaotic environment. They can breathe when they're near you. They experience clarity, tranquility, and even healing simply by being near. That is why those with pure souls feel comfortable in your presence. They detect something beyond human language. They sense God's hand resting on you. However, people who live in falsehoods wear masks and attempt to hide behind shadows. Being around you is unpleasant. It's like standing in the spotlight when all they want is obscurity. Even if you don't say anything, they feel vulnerable. Secrets emerge, as do hidden intentions, each inside them. Even their own spirit gets restless. Your love functions like a mirror. It portrays purity to the pure, but not to the deceptive. It reflects back every hidden imperfection they attempted to conceal. And when it happens, they are unable to withstand the intensity. That is why you have seen weird trends in your interactions and friendships. Some individuals entered your life with adoration, enthusiasm, and an almost addictive need for the tranquility they felt around you. But shortly something changed. They become annoyed, defensive, or distant. They began accusing you of things you never did and withdrawing without explanation. And you wondered what had changed. The reality is nothing has changed in you. What changed was that your presence caused them to become aware of themselves. And not everyone can handle it. You see, chosen one, your spirit does not allow individuals to remain neutral. When someone comes near to you, they are compelled to make a choice. Grow or go. Some people rise to the challenge. They confront their secret hurts. They confront their shadows. They let your light inspire their own growth. But others flee. They are unable to endure the heat of honesty. They can't manage the way your love dispels illusions. They are unable to bear the weight of standing next to someone who holds heaven's power. This is why you are both much wanted and feared. People desire your presence because it makes them feel alive. At the same time, it frightens them because it wakes what they've been attempting to suppress. And not everyone is willing to confront it. To love you is to confront oneself. To stay close to you is to confront the reality. And the truth is wonderful. However, the truth is equally uncomfortable. Think about it. How many times have individuals entered your life with courage, swearing, and loyalty, only to leave when the weight of your sincerity struck their soul? How many people promised eternity but couldn't manage even a season? It wasn't because you were excessive. It was because they were too little for the fire you were carrying. Your presence requires depth, and shallow hearts cannot withstand it for long. And here's the chosen paradox. People who live your life frequently believe they're fleeing you, but they're actually fleeing themselves. They are fleeing from the mirror you propped up without even trying. You exposed who they actually were, and they could not bear to see it. That is why you should never mix departures with rejections. Departures frequently serve as confirmation of your sincerity. They validate that your light is doing precisely what it was designed to accomplish, separating the truth from falsehood. This is why your life appears to be full of abrupt beginnings and endings. People will always be drawn to you, but only those who are willing to refine will remain. And the chosen one isn't a curse. It's a fantastic filter. Because heaven will not allow you to squander your fire on people who are unable to bear it. However, there is something deeper. What happens in the spiritual realm when someone tries to avoid your fire, yet still wants to be near what? When someone dares to stay in your presence with secret motives, invisible energies become engaged. The selected one is where the plot takes a turn. Few are prepared to hear what I am going to disclose next. The chosen one. You have seen it with your own eyes. Someone deceived you, lied about you, and attempted to toy with your emotions. And not long after their own world began to disintegrate, doors that had previously opened for them slammed shut, friendships crumbled, businesses failed, and possibilities vanished. Outsiders perceived it as ill luck. But, deep down, it wasn't a coincidence. It was not karma. It was justice. There is a fire around you, unseen to most but evident in its consequences. This fire is not the result of human rage or desire for vengeance. No, it is heaven's protection system. It is the heavenly authority shield that has been put over your life since you were born. And that fire has one mission: to safeguard what belongs to God, that encompasses your heart, destiny, calling, and spirit. When others believe they are only harming you, they are not aware that they are touching something precious. They believe they are insulting someone, betraying a buddy, or destroying another's heart. However, in truth, they are meddling with a divinely protected duty. And heaven does not remain mute. This is why there are always repercussions, sometimes rapidly, sometimes sluggish, but always precise. Because fire cannot forget. That is why you have seen patterns. Those who try to use you for personal gain ended up using themselves into nothingness. Those who attempted to obstruct you discovered themselves blocked in unexpected ways. Those who criticized your quest realized that laughter turned to ashes in their own mouths. The fire surrounding you is not passive. It is dynamic, living, and unstoppable. It moves in ways you can't see, dismantling traps, exposing scams, reversing schemes before they even reach you. The chosen one. Understand this clearly. The fire is not intended to punish individuals for disliking. The fire only ignites when someone attempts to mess with what God has sealed. It is not a matter of preference. It is all about protection. Your life isn't ordinary. It holds spiritual significance. Because of this, every attack on you is interpreted as an attack on the divine will. That is why recklessly touching you is dangerous. It always leaves a mark. Here's the secret reality. Sometimes that fire moves so quickly. The individual who mistreated you has no idea why everything is crashing. They blame the economy. They blame others. They've even blamed themselves. But deep inside, they knew they touched something they should not have touched. They crossed the bounds established by heaven. They tried to tread onto sacred ground with filthy hands, and the fire reacted. This is why you shouldn't pursue vengeance. You do not need to conspire against those who have betrayed you. You do not have to protect yourself in every conflict. The fire fights for you. It is the reason why your opponents can only come so near before being pushed back. This is why the trap was created for you. End up capturing the person who dug them. It is the reason why a curse is pronounced against you. You return to the sender multiplied. The fire makes certain that nothing constructed against you prospers. And now, I'll tell you something deeper. This fire isn't just for your safety. It's also for your preparedness. Every time someone mistreated you and had to face the consequences, heaven reminded you, you were picked. You are not ordinary. You're not alone. The fire validates your identification. It demonstrates that your life is protected by a higher court than mere human opinion. That is why, even when tears fall and betrayal hurts, you always rise again. Because the flames will not let you be vanquished. But here's what most folks don't see. The fire moves not just against people, but also against entire atmospheres. When you go into a room full with stress, the fire changes the atmosphere. Step into an area where plots have been spoken and your foes will get confused. Be surrounded with jealousy and observe how it begins to eat itself, until those who carried it can no longer stand by you. The fire is not contained. It is wherever you go, carrying out heaven's will for you. So, the next time you recall someone's failure after attempting to damage you, don't take it as a coincidence. Recognize this as divine intervention. The fire accomplished something you could never do with your own might. It guarded you without you ever raising a finger. Nonetheless, just one was picked. What I have to tell you next goes much deeper. Because this fire does more than simply defend. It requires something of those who dare to love you. It tests them. It burdens them. It causes people to consider if they are actually prepared to stand with someone who carries divine fire. And this is when the tale takes a sharper turn. Stay close, for the truth about why loving you takes tremendous power is about to be revealed. The chosen one. Here's a fact that few are willing to accept. Loving you isn't easy. It is not for the faint of heart or those who value comfort above truth. To walk with you is to enter a world where shadows are revealed, conflicts are continual, and every hidden reason is tested by the fire you bear. Your love is neither light, delicate, or common. It is substantial, challenging, and transformative. As a result, only the strongest survive. Only the honest. Only those who are genuinely devoted can withstand it. Those who join your life with excitement frequently have no idea what they are getting themselves into. They believe that they are receiving affection, camaraderie, or a basic link. However, as they approach, they discover something entirely different. Loving you entails fulfilling a portion of your destiny. It entails becoming caught in the crossfire of fights they never dreamed existed. It entails confronting opposition, attacks, and tests simply because they decided to remain at your side. Many are lured to the shine of your light, but few are ready to face the intensity of your fire. And that is why folks who said they could handle your heart repeatedly vanished. They did not abandon you because you were too much. They fled because they weren't enough. They were unprepared for the expense of walking with someone chosen, someone whose life is continuously marked by divine struggle and glory. Being loved by you is entering into a covenant with heaven's plan. Not everyone is willing to accept the duty. Understand the selected one. Your love is a filter. It sorts through people's intents without requiring you to ask a single inquiry. Those who are untrue are burnt away by the sheer intensity of your presence. Those who are real get purified, strengthened, and exalted. Your love isn't passive. It is operational. It separates wheat from chaff, gold from dust, separate truth from delusion. Like is why it appears like connections around you are never lukewarm. They either go deeper or dissolve. There is no middle ground for you. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how some people enter your life and everything about them is immediately tested? They experience pressure, hostility, and bizarre attacks that they cannot explain. It is because being with you is like entering a heavenly realm. The same forces that sought to crush you now test anybody who is connected to you, and this lays the secret enigma. Those who persevere, who stay faithful, and who hold steadfast even under duress. They ascend beside you. They receive benefits, protection, and breakthroughs just because they remained. However, those who are weak, dishonest, or half-hearted are revealed and eliminated. This is why your relationships will never seem average. This is why those who genuinely love you must be courageous, honest, and selfless. They cannot maintain their selfishness because your love will test it. They can't wear masks because your light will reveal them. They cannot be lukewarm as your fire will require. The decision to love you is a step out of neutrality and toward transformation. Transformation is never painless. It extends. It confronts. It cleanses. But here's the beauty of it. Those who choose to stay, those who assume the responsibility of loving you, get pleasures beyond measure. They find themselves protected, exalted, and strengthened in ways they never expected. They understand that being near to you is being close to a living altar, a vessel through which heaven's presence pours, and this understanding transforms everything. But do not forget the selected one. Your love is not intended for everyone. It was never intended to be easily transported. It was intended to purify and divide, revealing who actually belongs and who does not. So the next time someone disappears, do not consider loss. Think of it as the filter performing its job. Because if they couldn't manage your love, they couldn't handle your destiny, and heaven won't allow anybody remain in your life who can't bear the weight of what you're carrying. However, there remains one last enigma to solve: the contradiction of your love. How can something so demanding, hot, and passionate yet be the greatest benefit a person could ever receive? How can the same love that destroys the fake simultaneously shower the genuine with favor and abundance? The solution resides in your heart's dual nature, and what follows will disclose the greatest secret of all. Your love is both a weapon and a shield, a blessing and a warning. That is why not everyone makes it. The chosen one. Herein is the contradiction of your existence. Your love functions as both a shield and a weapon. The same flame may comfort and protect while also scorching and consuming the proper individual. The one who arrives with sincerity, humility, and clean hands. Your love turns into a torrent of blessings. It opens doors that no man can close. It breaks the bonds that have kept them imprisoned for years. It brings them into divine alignment, where supernatural favor accompanies their every move merely by being near you. Their lives starts to speed. Opportunities pursue them. Clarity floods their minds. Peace fills their hearts like never before. Because being loved by you is like standing beneath the protection of heaven itself. But this is for the incorrect individual, for the person who dared to approach with deception, manipulation, or selfishness. Your love becomes a weapon they can't resist. You are not fighting them with words or deeds. No, your sheer existence, your very fire, triggers spiritual principles that cannot be ignored. Their underlying motivations are brought to light. Their falsehoods crumble beneath their own weight. Their plans disintegrate quicker than they can be built, and they lose what they believed would be an edge. Gaining entrance to your heart becomes their undoing. Because your selected one is not neutral, it intensifies whatever is inside a person to its purest form. It amplifies purity for the deceptive. It exacerbates corruption until they can no longer conceal from themselves. This is why loving you may be harmful, not because you aim to create damage, but because your nature demands the truth. Your love is a holy fire that warms and protects those who honor it, but eating anything untrue that attempts to oppose it. Consider the time someone attempted to take advantage of you only to become ensnared by their own machinations. Consider the abrupt losses, unexpected downfalls, and unexplainable endings that appeared to follow those who treated you with disrespect. It was never random. It was never poor luck. It was a working fire. Once again, you demonstrate your uniqueness. And here is the warning. The chosen one. Not everyone who desires you is ready for you. Many people seek the shine of your light. However, few are ready to endure its heat. Many people seek the blessing, but shy away from the duty. To be adored by you is to enter a holy site. Holy sites are never free. That is why some stare at you with admiration from afar, but do not cross the line. They sense the danger, even if they can't articulate it. They feel the fire surrounding you, and their spirits quiver at the prospect of being devoured by it. However, here is the blessing, which is greater than words can express for the one who loves you truthfully. Your love is a stronghold. It's a refuge. It serves as a shield during a conflict. It is a light that helps you through the chaos. It's a voice that whispers about fate when all else is silent. Your love does more than merely show affection. It instills strength, knowledge, and resilience. The individual who sticks by your side faithfully will discover that even their adversaries cannot hurt them, because the same fire that protects you will also defend others. This is why heaven chose to make your love uncommon, expensive, and protected. It was never intended for the masses. It was intended for a select few who could handle both the weight and the grandeur. Those who are chosen to walk beside you will witness wonders they never expected. Those who arrive with bad intentions will face repercussions they never expected. Your love serves as both an invitation and a warning, a blessing and a judgment. So, never forget the selected one. Amati is peligro, very loving. You are dangerous, but it is also the greatest luxury that heaven grants. Because being loved by you is being loved by someone who heaven defends. To be loved by you is to stand within a purifying fire, a guiding light, and a protective shield. To be loved by you is to walk in favor that cannot be described by human reasoning. And now, as we approach the last revelation, I must inform you that there is one last truth, the ultimate affirmation of why your love is both feared and wanted, shunned and pursued. It's the secret that holds everything together. And once you hear it, you will never see yourself or people around you in the same light again. Stay with me until the finish, because the ending will show you the entire scope of what it means to be loved by a chosen person. So listen to me, the chosen one. Your love is not ordinary affection. It cannot be purchased, imitated, or lessened. Your love is holy fire, a flame that heaven has placed in you to lead, defend, reveal, and transform. That is why certain people really want you. However, I am unable to stay. That is why, when others fully accept you, they become blessed in ways they never imagined. That is why you must never, ever diminish yourself to make others comfortable. You're not too much. You are a perfect representation of force and purity. Heaven is planned. You are the storm that challenges incorrect assumptions and the calm that protects the virtuous. You are the mirror that reflects truth and the fire that consumes deception. The chosen one. Do not apologize for your intense affection. Do not doubt the importance of your calling. You were never intended to be simple. You were designed to stand out. You were supposed to be untouchable. You were destined to wield a fire that both blesses and warns, heal and consume, crown and expose. This is why no betrayal can devastate you. This is why no weapon could succeed. This is why, despite each loss, you continue to rise. Because your fire is not your own. It is heaven's. And if you are feeling this truth blazing in your spirit right now, do not dismiss it. Seal it. Declare it. Comment 77 below as a prophetic act of accepting your fire, value, and divine protection. Tell the world you're done questioning your value. Let the gods know you agree with your task, since loving your chosen one is both hazardous and unforgettable. It transforms people's lives. It shapes one's fate, and it demonstrates that you were never simply a human. You are a sacred flame traversing the planet. Stand tall, burn brightly, and never forget. Your love proves that you selected this, and touching it will change the world forever.